Gospel.
So, Pastor, soul ties are not always rooted in physical intimacy, are they?
No, they're not. And as you know, I also wanted to go back a little bit and expand or give you a scientific understanding for soul ties.
Okay.
Because oftentimes when there is this, I don't know what the right word to use is, there's this kind of movement now against soul ties or painting them as something that is made up, as you suggested, that it's just something mythical that pastors have made up to scare single people into not being sexually active. So apart from the scriptures I've shared, research actually backs up the existence of soul ties, and I want to share that with you a little, especially in terms of sexual contact. And what's important to understand is that when a man and woman are physically intimate, when they have sex, lots of things are going on in the body, and the body is releasing lots of powerful hormones. Now, one of the hormones that's released when a man and woman has sex is oxytocin. And oxytocin is what's been called the love hormone. Yeah, it's one that gives you romantic feelings, that makes you feel cuddly, that makes you feel loved. And actually, oxytocin is not only released during sexual encounters, it's also released during childbirth, and is what's responsible for the nurturing and the loving feelings that a woman has towards her newborn child. Wow. And it's maintained or continually released also through breastfeeding. And that's why oftentimes children who are breastfed are said to have a deeper connection to their mothers than children that are not. So if we look at the design, why did God design the human body to function in this way and to release these hormones in these encounters, in the nurturing experience of a mother and a child, and in the intimate relationship between a man and a woman? It helps us to understand the scripture in Genesis 2:24, where the Bible says, when a man and woman come together, they become one. So sex is very, very much designed to glue. God designed sex to join a man and a woman. It's not the only way, but it's one of the key vehicles that God has designed. Now, what happens for a man during sex is he also releases oxytocin, but not at the levels a woman does. Instead, what he releases at a higher level is dopamine, which is a pleasure hormone. Okay, so this helps us to understand why women tend to become more tied to men they sleep with, whereas men are less tied emotionally, if that makes sense. Okay, so the hormonal changes that are happening in their bodies when they have sex have consequences for the relationship and how they feel about each other, and the tying and the gluing and the sense of connection, that they feel. And oftentimes women, once they step with a man, will start behaving in very nurturing ways towards him. They'll start caring for him and preening him almost as they would a baby. And that's because of this hormone that is released during childbirth and during sexual intercourse for a woman. So there is actually scientific evidence as well for the existence of soul ties.
I guess that's why you shouldn't be, having multiple partners, because it's as if like you're leaving yourself with so many different people, so you get tied to so many
that's
people.
It. That's where the idea of fracturing comes, where people begin to feel sexually confused after a while, and also what happens with how soul ties develop is that they are reinforced by continuous activity. So the more that you have sex with somebody, the more that you're intimate with somebody, the stronger the tie becomes.
Premier Gospel. Premier Gospel.
For more great music and interviews, tune into Gospel Drive with me, Lady T, weekdays from 3 p.m. on Premier Gospel Music for Life.